Hello everybody, my name is Marlo and welcome back to another episode of Hardcore Minecraft, where in the last video we did some awesome custom landscaping on our base here, and I've literally just logged into the world for the first time since last episode, and I kind of forgot how much better this area looks. Now we've actually done some landscaping. I really do love it, and I've just finished reading the comments of last episode, and I think you guys like it too. So thank you for all of the kind words. Today we're going to take a step back from all of the custom landscaping and instead just do some regular old building. What I would like to make today is a windmill surrounded by some wheat fields. It was an idea I said to you guys about a couple of episodes ago, and since then I've kind of been debating on which episode to actually do this in, and I think today is the time where we build it. So there's actually the perfect area for it right here. If we just fly back and take a look around, you can see we kind of have a little bit of an island, or at least this piece of land surrounded mostly by a river. There's a couple of points where it cuts off, but we can always do some terraforming there. But my plan is to basically turn this whole island shape behind me here into some great big wheat fields with a giant windmill in the center, which by the way is going to rival the size of our amethyst tower here. Of course, before we start building the windmill or the wheat fields, we're going to have to do some mass deforestation. Not many wheat fields have a whole forest in the middle of them. I don't think you'd really be able to see the wheat if we left these here. So I'm going to have to take down all of these trees, which I'm sure will take a little while, but at least I'll get a good supply of wood from doing it. And I think whilst I'm at it, I'm also going to go ahead and terraform the river so it actually connects all the way around, and we are actually left with a peninsula, if you can call it that, although I'm not sure if you can if it's only a river on the other side. For how many trees I chopped down, I genuinely thought it was going to be more than this, but I guess oak trees are quite small. There's only like 3 or 4 logs in the little ones, so yeah, this is not too bad at all really. And we're also left with this great big open area to plant some wheat on eventually. And you may also be able to tell, not that I time-lapsed it, but I just tried to smooth it all out a little bit so we can get some rolling hills kind of, because I want to have wheat on various levels, not just like the top one up here. If we just take, let's say this spot for example, so we can have some on the top level, we can have some down here, and then we get to like 1-2 blocks across, and at this point I don't really want to be planting any more wheat down. Oh my goodness, that is far too straight. I'm gonna have to manipulate this land a little bit, but yeah, I don't want to plant wheat where we only have like 1 or 2 blocks. I think if we can stretch out far to 3, then I can plant it down, but yeah, I wanted to be able to plant it on, you know, not just the top level, so I've tried to smooth it out just a little bit. I'm pretty happy with how it looks. Ideally, I could do with it being a bit lower, but that just seems like a bit too much work for very little payoff. Before we start planting down any wheat, I'm going to go ahead and build the windmill, and I think right where I'm stood at the moment is going to be a pretty good spot for it, pretty much right in the middle of our whole area here. So I'm going to gather up my supplies and get to building. Let me tell you, that was not easy to build. There's something very finicky about building something like this that high in the air, but we got it done, and I am so happy with how this looks. The build altogether didn't look great. I'm not sure how well you'd be able to tell in a time lapse. It was quite a quick one, but it didn't look that great until the fan, I guess you can call this. I'm not really sure. The blades, until we put them on, yeah, it looked a bit boring. But I think now we got this in place, it looks so much better, and I am quite enjoying the look of the two towers here. Kind of feels like I need to do something Lord of the Rings based, and I've just said that out loud. But yeah, they do look really cool. It will look even cooler once I harvest those acacia trees and plant all of the wheat down, which is what we're going to start on very soon. But before we do, let's have a quick discussion about the build. So with this one, you may be able to tell I've done something a little bit different, and that is I've added in a gradient. 2 times actually. We have it once here with the granite leading up to the polished granite to the bricks at the top. That's quite a simple one, but we do have the big base here made out of deep slate, ranging from the tile to the bricks to the regular deep slate. And I may actually mix some cracked ones into the separate ones here, maybe some normal deep slate into the top, but I'm honestly fine with how it looks like this. So yeah, I've never really tried adding in a gradient like this to my builds. BOO does it all the time, and it looks fantastic. And I've always wanted to. I've just never really found the right time to do it, but I thought I'd give it a go this time, and yeah, I really love it. It just allows you to do quite a big build without having to actually add in any detail whatsoever. Like, look at this. There's nothing going on other than the fences here and the little rim around the top and a couple of windows. We barely have anything, but it doesn't look bad, and that's because the gradient. It just helps so much. I love it. Some of you may be able to tell that my windmill here, the blades are made out of snow. That was not really the original plan. I had it designed in my test world to be white wool, but considering I have approximately 3 sheep or something like that in my animal barn, I can actually go and check real quick. And I forgot to breed them up. Yeah, only a small handful. I needed like 80 white wool, and I'm a bit short on time. It's getting quite late. I need to go to bed, so I wanted to wrap this up. So it's snow at the moment. I actually don't mind it. As long as you're not aware it's snow, because obviously that makes 0 sense. I mean, wool isn't that much better either. But as far as like the texture of it goes, I actually kind of like it. So I think I may leave it as snow instead of going around and changing it out for wool. But the whole design of this thing in particular took me a very long time to put together. Any windmills I've done in the past, I've just done 4 blades and kept it quite basic. But this one, I mean, we have stairs, we have fences, we have fence gates, we got some grindstones in there. It's yeah, definitely a more intricate design than what I've done in the past, and I think it really paid off. Also, I am loving the combination of sandstone and copper. They look great next to each other. Now, as far as the interior of this place is concerned, it is quite barren, as you can see here. There is nothing really going on, and it will change, I can assure you of that. But I'm probably just going to come back to this later, because I am ready to go with the wheat fields here. But before we actually plant any wheat down, I need to make a bit of a barrier, I think. So as I explained earlier, we're not going to be having wheat on all of these grass blocks. I kind of want to stop around about like here, let's say, just as a generic spot for stopping. So I'm going to try and make like a natural looking cobblestone wall going all the way around the edge, and then on the inside of that wall is where we can plant all of the wheat. Hopefully that'll make it look a little bit better when we're looking at it from really far away, because I mean, if we just turn all of that into wheat, I think it might look a little bit strange, so a wall is probably a good option. And then of course we'll bring a pathway from the entrance all the way down over here to this pathway. The last block of grass to till. Oh, there we go. I have just had enough of planting wheat down, I must be honest. This has taken nearly an hour to do all of this. I know, it doesn't seem like it should, but it did, believe you me. It was painful, but we got it done and we made a friend along the way. You couldn't really see in the time-lapse, but this guy has been following me around the entire time because obviously I'm holding wheat in my hand, or wheat seeds, so he wants to snack on them. But yeah, this is all of our wheat planted down, and I'm curious how much there actually is here. So the best way to tell that is to go to our statistics, and it's to actually go to times used and see how much I've used a diamond hoe. 4,611 times. Let's just round that down to 4,500. That's how much wheat is in here. That's kind of crazy. Especially because it does not look like there is 4,500 wheat planted in the farm here. But there must be, because I have no idea where else I would have tilled that much soil in this world. The only other farm I have is like a small micro farm, which is how I got all of the seeds, by the way. But yeah, that's it's a lot of wheat. And it doesn't look great at the moment, mainly because the wheat hasn't fully grown up yet. A lot of them are still at like the lowest levels. When we get to that level over there, if you can just see that one off in the distance, we can do a double zoom in. Yeah, there we go. When it looks like that, the entire field, it's gonna look awesome. I'm hoping it will grow up in time before we end off today's episode, but it's very slow, so I'm not sure if it will. All in all, I'm really happy with how the cobblestone wall came together. If I had the time and patience, which I don't, I would do a couple of things differently and add some extra things. So I would quite like it if I could maybe mix in a bit more andesite or stone or just some other types of stone like that. But I don't honestly think it needs it. Plus, like I said, that takes time and I've had enough of this for now. The other thing I think I would have done better if I had more time would be to mix it with the ground here a little bit better, to try and slowly transition our way actually into the grass and the dirt instead of just having this solid cutoff point. But I don't really think it needs it. I don't think that makes a whole lot of sense. How it is right now is perfectly fine in my opinion. Now we still have to do the interior of the windmill, and I promise I will do it today. I just want to take a quick break from this windmill project because the wheat seed planting has kind of hurt my brain. So I just want to do something fun for a second, and that is to name the llamas over here. Now in the last episode, I noticed Sky had formed a bit of a crew. 3 of these 4 white llamas, there's now 4 of them, I know, an extra one made an appearance, but they joined a carriage with Sky here, so they all follow around like a mystical leader, and I asked you guys for some names, and I got some really good ones, so I'm gonna go see if I can afford 4 name tags. Currently, I have just over a stack of emeralds, so let's just take this for now and see how many name tags I can actually purchase with this. So we need 4 in total. I don't think I'm gonna have enough because I'm fairly certain. Oh no! Some of you may be very confused why I just said oh no while looking at this weird thing. I made a snow golem over here so I could get the snow for the windmill, and something has obviously killed him. I didn't know they could die, but yeah, there we go. Well, I knew they could die, I didn't know anything actually attacked them. Hello, culprit. Did you kill my snowman? And what are you doing in my village? You need to be vanquished very quickly. Do zombies attack snowmen then? I have no idea. You guys will have to let me know down in the comments. Are you okay, villagers? Did the zombie hurt you at all? I think the main ones are all good. Still haven't been able to get our stone cutters back in position since we lost them a few episodes back. But anyway, we are here to check name tag prices. You don't sell them. You do for 15. Oh, that's actually cheap enough. Do you do them even cheaper? You don't have them unlocked either. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. I don't even have to do any trading like I thought I was going to. Although, maybe I should sometime soon because I have an absurd amount of sugarcane just kind of sitting in chests over here in the Deep Slate Castle, just waiting to be traded with. See, there is quite a bit. Before starting this episode, I had picked out 3 names ready because I thought I only needed to name 3 llamas, so I've got them picked out. They are Clover, Cliff, and Cloud. Thank you everybody for those suggestions, they are great. You can kind of see the theme I'm going with here. C words. So I needed another one, and I had a quick rummage through the comments, and I couldn't find one that stuck out to me beginning with C. That actually might have been the only 3, these ones right here. So we're going to go with the last one here, of Cosmo. Why? I don't know. I just like the sound of it. Seems like a pretty cool name for a llama. So of course these llamas are going to need some carpet colors too, because obviously you can put carpets on llamas, like Sky's here. She has a light blue carpet, as you can see, gives her a little bit of color when I take it on and off. It kind of drapes a coat over them. It's a really cool feature of llamas. I do quite like them. So I picked out all the colors here. Cosmo has black for the cosmos, I guess. Maybe purple would have been a bit of a brighter color. In fact, I may actually change that one out because we got three very dull colors here of white, gray, and then green for Clover. So I guess in no particular order, let's put all of these together. You can be Cosmo, there you go, and you can have this put. Oh, I've really got to tame every single one. Okay, hopefully that won't take very long, but there we go. There is Cosmo, and oh my goodness, sir, you look dashing. That's such a cool drape. I absolutely love that one. Here is Cloud rocking the white carpet. And here we have Clover in his wonderfully bright green carpet with a creeper face on the back. That's kind of cool. Oh, okay, well, I think Cliff here is the bandit llama. Okay, didn't know the glasses thing here was the grey carpet, but that doesn't matter. Kind of cool. I love these guys. They look much more bright and vibrant now they got their colours on. Just don't disband, please, because you've made a nice little posse here. I would hate to break that up. Okay, we should probably return to the windmill over here. So I'm going to get started on the interior of the windmill here finally and finish this all up. And I'm going to leave a time-lapse going, but I'm not going to record the inside of here. I'll just show you around afterwards. It's probably not going to make that great of a time-lapse because inside time-lapses never really do. Instead, what I'm going to do is just leave my replay mod running and hopefully we can see some pretty cool growth of all of the wheat in here, and maybe once I'm done, depending on how long it actually takes me, this should be nearing full growth and will most certainly look a whole lot prettier. How much better does this look with all of the wheat fully grown? Mostly. I am out of time for this video. I cannot AFK for any longer. It took me about an hour or so to do the interior of the windmill, which we'll go check out in a second. And the rest of the time I've just been spent down at my skelly farm because I used up pretty much all of my bones trying to get seed. Well, that was rude. As I was saying, trying to get seeds to fill out the field there. So yeah, I needed some more bones. I spent, I think, 2 nights down there, and yeah, the rest of it was doing the interior. But that is mostly grown up. I don't think it's going to look all that different if I just wait 30 minutes more. So yeah, very, very cool. Something I forgot to mention earlier was the fact that I haven't been able to hydrate this farmland here, which is a shame because it looks really dry when you're up close here walking around. This is just such a lighter color than what it is usually, and it looks kind of weird. But the main reason I built these giant wheat fields is because it looks great from a distance, right? And from a distance, you can't really tell. What you would be able to see from a distance, though, is a bunch of little water pools dotted everywhere to be able to hydrate the land. So ideally, I would like to have both, but I can't do that. Beggars can't be choosers, right? So we're going to have to settle for some very dry crop, which is okay. But anyway, let's head inside of the windmill and check out what I've done. So here is the first floor, and it's unfinished. We're actually going to come back to this later on. First of all, we're going to head upstairs and check out the top level, because I have actually done some stuff up here. So this is what we have. Now, what's going on here is basically my not really understanding of how a windmill works. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I don't really know how it works. I don't exactly know what it does. It makes bread or flour, something like that, right? It uses all of the wheat outside and it has a spinny thing on the front. So using those two pieces of knowledge, I have made a mechanism here that's meant to churn up the wheat that we harvest here into bread. That's basically what's going on. So there isn't really a good place to stand. I think if I can get up to this spot right here is probably the best one. Okay, so Out there is the windmill, the spinny thing. It then connects to this thing, which somehow turns it the other way. We're just going to pretend there's a bunch of cogs and stuff in there that's switching the rotation, but then it spins this thing and churns up all the wheat there, and then somehow it just pops bread out of this spot. I don't know how, but it looks really cool. I'm actually quite happy with how this one turned out here. So this is the main centerpiece really, as you can tell, but around the outside I've just placed down some composters and done this little thing next to the window just so it doesn't look super duper boring. As you can see, I've kind of decorated all of the acacia wood windows, so yeah, quite happy with how that looks, but the main thing here is the giant spinning thing in the center. So heading back down now to this very empty bottom floor, I actually need your help for this one. So what do you guys think I should put down here? I kind of want to have something useful. We've made this ginormous tower and at the moment there's nothing of use inside of there. I kind of want to do a similar thing to what I have with my amethyst tower. So like my brewing and my nether portal and my skeleton farm underground, of course, is all what's inside of there. What should I put inside of this one? I'm thinking maybe a bunch of micro farms. I'm just not sure how that would look. I could probably cover them up so that they look decent, but I'm not sure. Worst comes to worst, I'm just going to put my micro wheat farm in the middle here. It's really small and compact. It's like 3 by 3, so I could probably hide that pretty well. But I want to check with you guys first to see if you have any better ideas, which you probably do. There's more of you than me. So the last thing I would like to do in today's episode is actually have a look at our brand new windmill and all of the wheat fields with shaders on. And oh my goodness, does this not look beautiful? I feel like I don't... Go, you're really ruining things for me here, aren't you? You've got it out for me today. I feel like I don't look at my world enough with shaders on. I know I sometimes put it on for a time-lapse or a cinematic or something like that, but it's not very often I actually put it on and walk around in first person. And for good reason, really, because it's quite laggy. There's a lot of leaves and stuff around here. So there we go, everybody. That is going to be it for today's episode. Are you going to leave me alone, goats, while I do my outro? Hopefully. I'm a little bit scared of him, to be honest. But yeah, it's time to say goodbye, everybody, as the sun sets behind us over our beautiful wheat fields. I am so happy with how this build turned out. I really hope you guys like it too. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.